Okay, so today we're at Autohaus Angel for the first of our introductory dealerships for the car place, and we're here with Dayne Angel, who's the dealer principal manager for Autohaus Angel in Milnerton, and we're going to have a chat with him about his business and about how they see the used car dealerships future in Cape Town and or maybe South Africa. So, Dayne.
Hello, Lourens. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So this is our first time, so if we up a bit, just let us be with it. So tell us, how did it all begin? I mean, how did it start? Who started it? When was it started?
Yeah, so I think it was back in 1998. It was my father and his father, Walter. So Walter and Autohaus Angel. They got together and opened a small dealership at Bellville, where we still have our current dealership there. Started with a couple of vehicles and slowly progressed and built and expanded to what we have today. So currently we've got a branch in Bellville, which was our original branch from 1998. And then we've had a couple branches around the Western Cape over the last few years, from Sea Point to Claremont to, all around.
Island.
Correct, Pardon Island. And then in 2018, we moved here to sort of what you'd call our flagship store on Coburg Road in Milnerton. We've got a fully fledged RMI-approved workshop in the back that does all the servicing for our vehicles, make sure all the vehicles are at a high quality just before we sell them, and then of course quite a large, impressive dealership housing our vehicles.
So what's the sort of, how many staff do you have in total, and what sort of your stock holding size-wise?
Sure, so staff members, I'd probably say, including the workshop, Bellville, sales staff, admin, cleaners, we're probably a team of about 20 to 25. That sort of goes up and down as it generally does in the motor trade. And stock holding, we aim to have between 90 and 110 cars at any time.
Oh. And the other question, and you do your own in-house financing with most of the banks, I take it?
Correct. We've got a permanent in-house finance manager. Her name is Natasha Williams. She handles all the finance from application all the way through to signing and delivery for the customers. So she makes the process super easy, super simple, and as easy as possible for the clients.
What makes your company stand out above all the others around? i.e. looks, your logo,
Sure.
The journey starts here. Obviously, you've been around for many, many years. And I remember the days you still specialized in minis at one stage, and that sort of faded.
100%.
And you're still here. Many others are not here anymore, as we know. They've been around 4 or 5 years, and due to economy and all sorts of other outside influences, they're gone. So what makes you still being here? What makes you different?
Yeah, I think a big part of that is that we are still a family-run business. There's no corporate aspects of our business. We don't have shareholders sort of pushing us and telling us what we should or shouldn't be doing and how we should be running our business. It's basically myself and my father, Marcel. It's up to us to decide what avenues we want the business to take, what decisions we want to make. I think it's those old school core values that we still have.
Important.
That we find is very important. Our aim is to not make a lot of money selling one car to a customer. Our aim is to, meet that customer, sell them a vehicle, and
let him come back again.
Form a relationship. So in the future, when they have car needs, if they need to service their vehicle, if they need to upgrade their vehicle, we are the people they go to, and hopefully they spread that word to their friends and family as well.
The journey starts here.
100%.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so I think that's probably how I would think we are most different from everyone else. And of course the history. We have been here for close on 30 years, which I think is quite an impressive feat. And as you were saying, there are loads and loads of small independent dealers that are closing daily because the market is getting increasingly more difficult as time goes by.
Outside. That leads me up to the question now. So with what you just said now, so the biggest challenge that faces dealers like yourself, what is the biggest challenge facing in the used car market now? People like yourself, and you're one of the big ones. Like a lot of many smaller ones, i.e., opposition threats. I'm not going to mention names. You can mention them. Where that comes from, that affects the normal used car market that we used to know. You know?
Yeah, I would say probably some of the biggest threats are, one, finance is becoming exceptionally difficult to come by. You know, banks are, you know, getting more and more finicky with who they're giving finance to. I think they've probably been burnt in the past with, you know, giving finance to whoever. I think probably it's a knock-on effect from COVID, people having bad credit. So, you know, if we were able to sell a vehicle to every person we did a finance application for, we'd have a fantastic business here. We'd be selling, you know, 300 cars plus a month. And then, of course, you know, you have big companies like We Buy Cars or Getworth, you know, that are undercutting the market, but of course not offering any of these guarantees that we offer our clients.
There are some things that's floating around on social media about all sorts of things that happens. But then again, it could happen anywhere. But yeah, their size just makes them difficult to compete with.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I've always said to my customers when they come and try, you know, compare vehicles. I say I don't compare with certain other competitors, simply because if your vehicle breaks down, we come to the party, we will try resolve the issue with you, where these other companies will sort of look the other way and maybe act like they've never seen you before.
And also through the COVID times, you know, you survived that, because that's 3 years. I mean, not many people survived. And I mean, dealerships, even big ones, didn't survive. So must have survived somehow. How did you manage that?
Yeah, it was a very difficult year through COVID. I suppose the used car industry was shut down for 4 or 5 months. And I think what we did is we sort of took that time, knowing that we weren't going to be back at work, to spend time with our, you know, families and loved ones while we could, and sort of try to you know, cut costs where we could in those times. And of course, when we came back, you know, on smaller scale levels, you know, having to sanitize vehicles and all that, try make everything as safe as possible. We sort of slowly opened up again, and as you said, many dealerships didn't reopen. We were fortunate enough to reopen, and you know, I can happy to say a couple years down the line, we're still open. Yeah,
those weren't happy times for anybody. And then I want to just ask, sitting around here and knowing the company, I know your father very well. As I said earlier, you at one point sort of specialized in minis. You know, they were like the mini kings in the Western Cape. What is the profile you're holding on to now? Because you know, obviously behind you here is a Ferrari, and we have a Bentley over there, and we have the new Mustangs and some other high-end products. But we also seem to have middle of the road cars, clean cars. I know your cars are clean because I've known how you've operated. So where are you trying to be?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we used to specialize in minis. Minis, we did very well in minis. You know, probably 7-8 years ago. You know, as the minis got a bit older, they became a bit problematic. So we sort of stepped away from that. We didn't, you know, want to sell products that was giving customers issues. So I think for now, our aim is to cover every segment of the market, from, you know, 80,000 Rand all the way up to 3 million Rand. So the aim is to have something for every buyer that's out there. Hopefully we can, you know, fill every gap in the market.
Also be able to source if someone wants something that you don't have on
100%
on the lot.
Yeah.
And the Bellville branch, I've noticed driving, even when we just drive past, there's more sort of towards the off-road market, the double cab pickups.
100%. Yeah, Bellville's always been a bit better on commercial side. You know, double cab buckies, Quantums, those kinds of vehicles have always done well there. And they're normally from the 80,000 to about 500,000 is sort of the sweet spot that we found out there in Bellville.
Okay, so why should someone buy a car from you?
You know, as I've said, we are known for, you know, selling good products, not running away if there is an issue. You know, we don't want to sell you one vehicle. We want to sell you plenty of vehicles 100%. In your lifetime.
100%.
And that's all we can say.
Yeah, so there I can agree with you, because I haven't said that. You know, I've known your father for a long time, and we were actually in the same premises for many years in Pardon Island. Yeah, you know, there are little cracks in any business that comes in, but in general, I must say, you know, the product and the quality of the product you deliver is proper. So, but you've also been putting your fingers and your feet in motorsport, which also made Autohaus Angel quite famous for supporting motorsport at Killarney, not only Killarney, but also nationally. So will you brief us a bit on that? I know yourself have been a go-karting champ of some sort. Your father's been there. You started at the bottom through. Sort of briefly take us through through the motorsport and Autohaus Angel's involvement, and also apart from being good at what you do driving, also what it meant for Autohaus Angel to the outer public out there.
Sure. So I mean, we've always been involved in motor racing from before I was born. I remember my father, he was racing 250 supercarts, multiple South African champion at 250 supercarts. He then moved over to quite a famous series in Cape Town called Formula Supercars, raced that for plenty of years. He then moved over to V8 Masters, and as time progressed, he then upgraded himself to a Ferrari GT3 vehicle. So he sort of over the years has progressed his sort of racing career from go-karts all the way up to Ferraris. Yeah, and then I was fortunate enough to start when I was younger. I think it was about 12 years old, racing go-karts. Also followed the same route as actually racing the same Formula Supercar that my father raced in, won a couple championships there, and then very fortunate to race a Ferrari GT3 and win a South African championship.
You also drove
well.
the Porsche GT2.
Yeah, we had a Porsche GT2 as well. It gave us a couple headaches, very fast when I wanted to work. Unfortunately, people running the car maybe lost the plot a bit. But so we've gone full circle from that now to racing a Mitsubishi Lancer in a 24-hour series. So it's full circle.
A question I want to ask, I know your cars that you and your father raced has always been, they were presented in the Autohaus Angel colours, which is with a black and yellow, quite stunning.
Yes.
Standing on. Did that presentation through motorsport, did it assist in some way to the success that you've experienced?
Definitely. I mean, countless times I can say people called in, hi, saw your vehicle at Killarney this weekend, looking for a car, or people just walking onto the floor wanting to see what we have because they want to maybe they're passionate about motorsport and they want to just talk about our racing experiences. So definitely, I think it's made us stand out in the motor trade as probably being the most prominent father-son racing team in a business on the racetrack. So it's definitely helped with a lot of exposure.
The two of you are actually, including yourself, are actually quite legends at Killarney. So everybody knows the Angels,
Yeah.
And they're red and they're black and yellow cars.
100%.
Correct. Followed by a nice cold beer.
Yeah.
Etc.
Maybe a brandy or two.
Anything else you'd like to say before we cut off the formal sort of chat? About your business and about the market out there currently. I mean, you were talking this morning about how difficult it is to find stock for businesses because, I don't know, maybe the market for used cars are just so small. Where should I put it? There's such a scarcity of quality used cars coming on the market.
100%. So, something we've done this year mainly is we've opened up a rental division to our business. So we've started with very, very entry-level, small, Renault Quids, i10s, Grand i10s, things like that to, just generate a bit of income for the business, get a bit of exposure. We've sold a couple of vehicles to people renting vehicles while they're waiting for their finance to get approved. So small things like that, we just try to expand the business.
Entered into the 4x4 rentals with the little Suzukis.
Yeah, 100%. We've got
they're quite impressive, I must admit.
Exactly, yeah. Camp 4x4, very, very impressive little kitted Suzuki Jimneys. But besides that, as you say, we just trying to stay on top of the market, try buy what's popular at the moment, and keep our cars priced well. Am I right in saying,
or will you agree if I say to you, one of the reasons that there's such a shortage of good quality used cars is that the new car prices are so high now, that those people who do have that quality used cars has made the decision to rather keep it for another 2 years. Instead of changing cars every 2 years, They now change cars every 5 years. Because we know what
Yeah.
new car prices are now. It's
100%.
crazy, you know.
Yeah, so new car prices are crazy at the moment. I also think, maybe, times are not as sweet as they used to be. So people that were changing their
100%.
car every 2 years are now, maybe I'll change it every 4 years. So maybe there isn't that steady inflow of the trade-ins. And I think also a lot of the franchise dealers, instead of selling the trade-ins to the independents, they are now opening used car lots on their dealerships, which I think is also drying up the supply.
I've seen that around now, yeah.
Yeah, but we're fortunate enough. Our stock holding is where we want it to be. We've got a nice variety of stock, all nice, clean vehicles. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too stressed about the shortage of stock. We go to the auctions, we sort of pick and choose what vehicles we would really like to have, and we make sure we get them at the right price so we can sell them at the right price to our customers.
100%. Yeah. So thank you very much as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So that's it.